When I think about what I would have told myself 3 years ago, I would have told myself, you can't think big enough. You can't go fast enough. The last 3 years in some ways feels very, very slow. In other ways feels extremely fast. Canter was the first to the market really in this, taking fragmented business and bringing it all, these legacy owners together. September 2022, this inflection point occurs with Rotunda and Canter partnering.
What we liked about Brian, very smart, very analytical, engineering degree from an excellent university, liked to use data to make decisions, but he never really grown and scaled an organization.
The generator market is highly fragmented, so the acquisition opportunity is immense, and I think when you take that with Brian and his team's capability of integrating these businesses to create a really unique opportunity.
Once we met them, understood what they were about, we didn't go and look for other options.
Since 2022, when we invested in Canter, we've seen a business that has gone from operating in roughly 4 or 5 states to currently operating in 16 states. We've seen the revenue grow almost 5x over that period of time. What stands out to me about Canter's growth over the last number of years has been watching Brian, frankly, develop as a leader.
The thing that has continually impressed me about the Canter team, aside from just doing acquisitions, has been, we'll have a board meeting and agree on what we're going to do for a quarter, and we come into the next quarter and they've blown it away and they've done 2 extra things on top of that, and they've already been thinking out, multiple quarters ahead, and so it's just created this flywheel of growth that just seems to keep going faster and faster.
This constant sort of million-mile march, just every day continuing to improve. They really do have a culture of continuous improvement, and you can see it every time you're with the team.
First acquisition, spring of 2023, was Midwest. So Midwest, first time we tasted internal installs, great margin, understanding what insourced labor does for both customer experience and the financials. September 2023, while we were learning what Midwest was doing in Minnesota, Generex joins.
When I was by myself at Generex, basically, I was always worried about everything. And now we're able to just focus on what we do. And that trickles down to the salespeople, and the installation folks, the permitting folks. Everybody just doesn't work on anything else but one thing, and they do it well.
And that was the moment where you go from, Canter was doing about 3,000 installs, Midwest added about 300 additional, Generex was doing about 3,000. So now you go from 3,000 to 6,500 in 1 year.
Generex was a big step. I mean, they're an amazing company. That was really the first time when we had to figure out as a group, like, how is this going to work with the 2 different ways they went to market. The way Canter went to market was primarily with all these big partners. The way Generex went to market was much more, let's have our own local brand, let's develop local leads, et cetera. So I think that step, and then getting beyond that to figuring out how we were going to do that in the same markets, I think that helped a lot of light bulbs turn on saying, all right, this is how we do it, and now let's go find other markets and other great companies to partner with.
You can't do something like that to be the largest Generac dealer in the country by yourself. You need a lot of smart people, you need a lot of good help, and you need a lot of infrastructure.
Mid-year 2024, Graston became a reality for us.
It's been really neat to see the momentum of the Canter Graston brands. In the past, what we thought was an amazing record year is just a normal Tuesday.
And that opens up Houston. Canter was big in Houston, but a lot of outsourced. And so Josh had an infrastructure that allowed him to grow really quickly. So immediately Josh and the Graston team can take on 50% more than they're currently doing just by doing the Canter installs. Financials kind of explode.
The team is fired up because they see how special we are in the industry.
The fourth one was Ronco. Destin Panhandle was an area that Generex didn't cover.
We have coverage for the entire coast, from Virginia all the way down around Florida and over to Texas. This way, if there's ever an impact, hurricane impact, we're able to rush right into there and help that area out.
2025, early on, we were just kind of riding the dragon as we tried to get all the installs done. In summer 2025, the most recent one was Ambrose. And so Ambrose wasn't looking for a partner in the Northeast. Mike and I are on the Generac Dealer Council together and just really hit it on intellectual levels, and just thought, man, this makes all the sense in the world now.
Well, it's been 1 month since we joined forces with Canter. Having the collaboration with Canter, Graston, Generac, Midwest, we're really looking forward to taking advantage of the things that Canter has to offer to help us grow.
These amazing owners are all now joining this family, and we're not trying to change the amazingness of that family, but we're taking the elements of everybody. The individual brand reputation, the individual strengths become something we embrace.
People want to be an important part of something important. I'm no different. We all want that. Brian gave us that opportunity. It's been pretty cool.
We started from almost zero service contracts to today servicing over 30, 40, soon to be 50,000 homes across the United States and providing that reliable service.
They just continue to figure out the next challenge, and they do it with just this enthusiasm and optimism that's really kind of infectious and fun to be part of, and I think that's a big part of their success.
What's really exciting is I think we'll finish this year just under $200 million in revenue. Brian and his team have a really robust pipeline of acquisitions. We've done 2 greenfield new locations in Tennessee. Service is exploding. I think in 3 years, Canter can be $1 billion company.
And we're just getting started.